you explain to the people watching what is sickle cell?
So sickle cell is a genetic red blood cell disorder that affects the way in which the red blood cells are shaped. So normal red blood cells are shaped like round, almost like a donut, and it's very easy for them to pass through blood vessels. Whereas with sickled red blood cells, they're shaped like a crescent moon or a banana. They're sticky and rigid, so it's harder for them to pass through blood vessels. And because of that, they can get stuck. And then when that does happen, that's what causes like the pain, which you would call a sickle cell crisis. The pain can vary from like mild to severe, but that's like one of the main symptoms that you would get with sickle cell. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm aware that there's I think there's two different, there's SC and SS.
There's actually a lot more
But
genotypes, but those are like the most two common. SS, they say that that's like the more severe one, and that's more common. And then you have SC. So yeah.
So just for people that don't know, what is the difference between a normal transfusion and an exchange transfusion?
Yeah, so a normal transfusion is basically where they just give you like blood that's been donated, but with exchange transfusions, like in the name, they literally exchange your blood. So you'll have normally like two access or two cannulas. So they will take the blood out from one cannula, it'll go into a machine, it will spin the blood, separate your red blood cells and give you back your plasma, which has like your white blood cells inside, and then give you like the donated blood. So they just discard the sickled cells essentially, and that's done, for me, it's done every 6 weeks.
And how does that affect you? Do you feel different? Do you feel
yeah, like the process is it is invasive, but it's not invasive at the same time, because you'd think, oh, I just have two cannulas, like that's it. But how you feel after, like you feel drained, tired, sometimes you get headaches, sometimes even during the procedure you can get like nausea.
I've flown all over the world with sickle cell. Let me show you how I do it. If you're watching this and you don't have sickle cell, you wouldn't know that the airplane is like a torture chamber for us. These are the 3 steps I use to survive these flights. First, I wear compression socks every flight. These socks apply pressure to keep my blood flowing really well. That way my sickle cells can't start clotting on me. Second, I focus on hydration. Now, coconut water is the best thing you can use to hydrate you, but they won't let you bring anything to the airport like that. So I use these hydration sticks. The more I can keep my body hydrated, the less likely I am to have any issues out of my sickle cells. Next, you always want to fly with a heating pad. I use this as a preventative measure. For me, my pain normally always starts in my lower back, so I put light heat on my lower back just to keep it calm. Do not use high heat. Always keep it light and only use it for about 20 minutes at a time. Don't keep it on consistently. Warriors, these are easy preventative steps that have kept me safe, and they can keep you safe too. Get out there and see the world.
Hey guys, it's Dr. Anderson. Welcome back to today's class. Today we're continuing the discussion on sickle cell disease. So if you missed yesterday's lesson, go back and check it out. Yesterday, Thursday, June 19th, was World Sickle Cell Awareness Day. And so I talked a little bit in overview of sickle cell disease. I realized that I left you guys with some questions because I brought up the genetics of sickle cell disease and how sickle cell trait and full sickle cell disease can be passed down to children from their parents. And so there were several questions in the comments. I wanted to clear some of those things up today. So we're going to go to the whiteboard here today and a pop quiz for you if you can remember the name of these squares. So I know we've all seen them before in your initial intro to health class. This is re-intro to health, but in your actual intro to health class in high school, you probably saw these. Do you remember what they're called? They are called Punnett squares, and Punnett squares really help us with determining the probability of something happening, especially in the case of genetics. So let's talk about sickle cell disease. For the purposes of today, when we're talking about sickle cell trait and sickle cell disease and using these Punnett squares, we're going to say that N is normal. And in this case, normal just means no sickle cell trait or no sickle cell disease. S is going to mean sickle cell. And these are the letters that we'll use going forward. So when our genes come in pairs and we receive one allele from each of our parents to make up our genes. And so for today, again, we're just using letters here. If you see NN, that means normal, meaning no sickle cell trait and no sickle cell disease. If you see NS, that means that this person has sickle cell trait. And if you see SS, then that means we've got sickle cell disease. And if you remember from yesterday, disease is what I talked about with those issues or people who had pain crises, higher risk for strokes, all those things that may happen. Because again, if we're looking at a blood vessel, instead of having a nice round blood vessel that just easily moves through, a nice round blood cell that easily moves through the blood vessel, instead you've got these sickle-shaped cells that get really sticky and get caught in the blood vessel. And so when this happens, in our digits, so in our hands or, feet or other parts of our body, it can cause pain crises. When it happens around our brain, it can cause a stroke. And so we're looking at NN being normal, NS meaning we've got trait, and SS meaning disease. So we're going to get, again, one allele from each parent, but parents have two, which is what makes up their genes. So let's say that we've got a mom who is NN, meaning normal, no sickle cell trait, no sickle cell disease, and we've got dad who is NN. So in the Punnett square, if we put these two together, we get NN. If we put these two together, we get NN. These two together, NN, and these two together, NN. Meaning if you have a mom and a dad and they make a baby, they have a 0% chance of having a baby who has sickle cell trait or sickle cell disease if neither of them has sickle cell trait or disease. But let's take it a step further, and let's say that we have a mom who has sickle cell trait, so she is NS, and dad is NN. So let's look at that. When you put these together in the Punnett square, you're going to get NN. These two give you NN. These two give you NS. And these two give you NS. So what we're saying here is that if you have one parent with sickle cell trait and one parent who is quote unquote normal, then each time this mom gets pregnant, 2 out of 4, there's a 2 out of 4 or 1 out of 2 or 50% chance that she will have a baby who has sickle cell trait. Now, not disease, but sickle cell trait, all right? So let's look at an example where both parents have sickle cell trait. So mom is NS and dad is NS. So let's look at this. If you put this NN together, you get an NN. This S and N, you get NS. This N and S, you get NS. And this S and S, you get SS. So let's look at this scenario. And again, the whole thing with probabilities means that each time we get pregnant, each time the woman gets pregnant, this is the possibility. So there's a 1 in 4 chance every time a woman who has sickle cell trait is with a man who has sickle cell trait and they get pregnant, there is a 1 in 4 chance that that baby will be quote unquote normal and not have any sickle cell trait or disease. There is a 2 out of 4 chance or a 50% chance every time she gets pregnant that she will have a baby with sickle cell trait. And importantly here, there is a 1 out of 4 chance or 25% chance every time that woman gets pregnant, there is a 25% chance that she may have a baby who has full sickle cell disease. And when this becomes important is when we're thinking about family planning, right? And so if I have a patient who I know has sickle cell trait, whether it's man or woman, I'm telling them to have that discussion with their partner, with their husband, wife, their partner, that they have sickle cell trait, and it's a pretty good idea that that other person be tested also to see if they have sickle cell trait, so they at least are able to make an informed decision about if they are okay with having a 1 in 4 chance of having a baby who has sickle cell disease, which again, these days is not at all a death sentence to have sickle cell disease, but it certainly is something that if we look just through the genetics and the Punnett squares part of it, we can think through it and make informed decisions before pregnancy. Another example here is, so if you have a person who has full sickle cell disease and then someone else who has trait, So one parent has full sickle cell, SS, and one has trait, and you put those together. You get NS here, you get SS there, you get NS here, and you get SS there. And so then you have a 2 out of 4 or 1 out of 2 or 50% chance that every time this woman gets pregnant, if one partner has full sickle cell disease and one has trait, there is a 50% chance every time she gets pregnant that that child may have sickle cell disease. So I hope this helps you to understand a little bit about the genetics of sickle cell disease and how we sometimes, depending on our partner's genetics, are at higher risk or higher likelihood of having a child who has sickle cell disease. Again, there's lots of research and changes being made in the field of sickle cell disease and studies that are out there and work that's being done. There's still a lot of work to do. And so if you know you have sickle cell trait, or if you don't know whether or not you have sickle cell trait, but are thinking about planning for a family, I think it's one of those important things to know so that you really can make an informed decision about your family planning. So I hope this has helped. I hope I cleared up any confusion that was there from yesterday. Thanks.
All right, I got this comment, so I'm gonna just break everything down to y'all. So for those who don't know, I have sickle cell anemia. That's why my eyes are yellow, as you can see. Now, I can't say how painful sickle cell is because for every person that has sickle cell, it's different. Some people go through a lot of pain, some people go through a little bit. Me though, I be having my moments. Sometimes I'll be going through shit, majority of the time I don't because I take care of myself. But with sickle cell, everything plays a role in it. Your mental, your emotional, your physical, all that matters. If you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be good. As you can see, my eyes are real yellow right now, and I'm currently in the hospital, literally. I came up here for a doctor's appointment. During the doctor's appointment, I went into a crisis, got admitted. That's literally how that shit works. With sickle cell, you never know what's gonna happen. Like, it literally comes at any time. I was feeling straight on the way to Birmingham. When I got here, boom. But when it comes to pain, like I said, everybody is different. Me personally, I have pains in my chest, my back, my sides, I be aching, and that's really much it. When I was younger, it started in my legs and my feet, but as I got older, as I got taller, it started to grow in my, you know what I'm saying? And with my eyes, I already know what the comments are gonna say. The other day, I had a video go viral, and my eyes were really yellow in it. All the comments were just talking about liver problems. No, I do not have liver problems. No, my liver isn't failing or anything. My liver is perfectly fine. This is called jaundice from sickle cell. When people see yellow eyes, they immediately think liver failure or kidney problems. I'm gonna tell you right now, anybody who thinks that, stop doing that shit. Some of y'all have to realize that people like us are human too. So when y'all throw assumptions on us like that, that's attacking us. My nigga, do your research before you just start talking. Google is free. ChatGPT is literally right around the corner. My nigga, we're in 2025. You could do research on your fucking phone. My thing with the sickle cell is that nobody sheds light on what we go through. Like, I have never met a sickle cell content creator, sickle cell influencer, sickle cell rapper, nothing. I want to be the first nigga to do that. I used to be scared to embrace my sickle cell because people used to always just attack me and say the craziest things, and that takes a toll on my mental. But I'm slowly starting to realize that if the world don't know what the fuck people like me go through, I want to be that person to show y'all. But I just want to say respectfully, we are all still human. If you ever see anybody with sickle cell that has yellow eyes or going through something, don't judge them. Don't treat them like they're an alien or irregular, my nigga. We're all still human. Nobody's perfect. The biggest thing I hate about having sickle cell is when people just throw assumptions on the table and they're completely wrong.
Ever noticed how sickle cell mostly affects black people and not white people or people of European descent? Like, why haven't you found a white person complain about being a sickle celler? Get ready to have your minds blown. Cause the reason will shock you. And I'm sure 80% of people don't even know about these interesting facts. Sickle cell started as nature's defense mechanism against malaria. Originally, most people likely had the AA genotype. You can say it's the normal hemoglobin. But in regions where malaria was deadly, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, parts of India, and the Middle East, something interesting happened. A random genetic mutation appeared. It changed the structure of hemoglobin slightly, creating what we now call the S gene. So AS didn't come from AA being damaged, but from evolution selecting a helpful mutation. People who inherited one S gene and one normal A gene AS didn't get full-blown sickle cell disease, but they also had a stronger resistance to malaria. But because AS helped people stay alive. That is why AS have a better advantage to malaria over AA. Because this gave them a survival advantage, the AS genotype spread naturally over generations. That change created the S gene, and people who had AS, one normal gene and one S gene, were more likely to survive malaria. Simply put, a long time ago, in places where malaria was killing lots of people, the body naturally developed a small genetic change to help fight it. So over generations, more and more people in malaria zones started having AS, not because AA got damaged. But it's not just Africa. Sickle cell disease exists across the world, especially in places where malaria once thrived. India, especially tribal areas in Central and South India. The sickle cell gene spread far beyond Africa, but Africa still has the highest burden today. Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Oman, UAE. Mediterranean, Italy, Greece, Turkey, less common, but present. The Americas, Caribbean, like Jamaica, Haiti, Brazil, and African Americans in the US. Europe, UK, France, via migration from Africa and the Caribbean. Why? Because of migration, intermarriage, and the slave trade. In short, AA equals which is normal blood, but no protection from malaria. AS equals mostly healthy, plus some protection from malaria. SS equals sickle cell disease, happens if both parents pass down the S gene. So no, AS didn't come from AA being broken, AS came as a natural way the body adapted to protect people in areas with malaria. Sickle cell isn't just an African thing, it's a global health issue shaped by history, biology, and survival. Follow MedEasy for more mind-blowing health tips. Be a part of the MedEasy movement.
The symptoms of sickle cell anemia. Now, disclaimer before I start this video, I'm just making this video to spread awareness because there are a lot of people who don't know who sickle cell anemia even is or never heard of it, and Google gives a very vague description of it. Number one is obviously anemia. It's in the name. Next is like the main one too, sickle cell crisis. Sudden episodes of severe pain, often in the chest, abdomen, joints, and bones. Keyword sudden and severe. These episodes can last for a few hours to several days, sometimes weeks. We have swelling in the hands and feet, frequent infections, delayed growth, which is kind of crazy because I was actually pronounced failure to thrive when I was younger. And look at me, thriving. We have vision problems, jaundice, which is the yellowing of the eyes and skin. And the jaundice is caused by the breakdown of the red blood cells. So our cells break down a lot faster than normal people's. Our cells do not last long at all. Like, normal people's blood cells last 90 to 120 days, while ours only last 10 to 20 days before they break down and die. And I know I'm laughing. That's just how I cope, y'all, okay? So it's not funny. But 10 to 20 days? That's it. It's hard out here. It's hard out here, y'all. Alright, we also tend to have pale skin. We get acute chest syndrome, which is basically, it's like pneumonia. It's like chest pain, difficulty breathing, fever. So it's triggered by blocked blood vessels in the lungs or infections. Strokes, leg ulcers. Also, I didn't know that leg ulcers were painful sores on the lower legs due to bad circulation. That's cute. Ugh. Good old gallstones, y'all. We recently found this out, that sickle cell patients are more likely to have gallbladder problems and gallstones because of the breakdown of the red blood cells. I feel like changing the diet kind of helps. I don't know. I'm still in the hospital like every 2 months. Every 2 months because of gallbladder pain. Like, not even because of sickle cell, but for gallbladder pain. Worst pain on earth. Oh my god. If you have gallbladder problems, my heart goes out to you because it's bad. It's really bad. I'm just gonna put it right here and let y'all read that. Cause what? And of course I didn't know that, because I'm a girl. And of course we got good old organ damage. Yup, to the lungs, spleen, kidneys. That is what most sickle cell patients pass away from, is organ damage. I don't know, I'm like smiling and stuff. Like I said, coping mechanism, okay? Yeah, sickle cell patients, life expectancy is like 42 to like 52 or 58. It really just depends. So like, statistically speaking, I have like 20 more years. Like, like it's kind of weird to think about. Like I could only have like 20 more years left, you know, which is so weird to think about. Or you never know, maybe I could live longer. We're not done yet, y'all. We still have more. Let's keep going. We got bone and joint damage, high blood pressure in the lungs. Didn't know that. Kidney problems, kidney failure, blood and urine, frequent urination, heart problems, enlarged hearts. That's not cute. Like, what? We have a good old avascular necrosis, which is death of the bone. Sometimes the oxygen gets cut off from the bone and the bone dies. It's mostly like in the joints, so like the hips, the knees, which you have to get like hip and knee replacements, which my brother has. Splenic sequestration. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Fun fact, my brother almost had his spleen removed when he was younger because it kept like enlarging, I think, and he almost had it removed. So yeah, that's extra cute. Delayed wound healing. I didn't know that, but honestly, that makes a lot of sense. I think I covered all the symptoms. So let me know if you guys want to know about the active cure that we have for sickle cell now. Well, that they have for sickle cell now. And let me know if you want to hear any more story times, because girl, I got stories for days, obviously. Let me know so I can talk about what it's like having sickle cell when you're in school, at work. You know, I can get more into it. Let me know. Thank you to my supporters. I love you guys. Thank you to my haters. I love y'all too. Go to the next video and follow me, bestie. Bye.
I have sickle cell and I was out with my son today and trying to be an active mom. It's a great day, and I'm going to tell you guys about this knee massager because I didn't believe in it for so long. I thought people were just overhyping it, you guys. But I literally had to cut our day short and rush home because I needed this, and I know I could travel with it, but I forgot. And it's honestly a lifesaver because I live in pain every day. Some days are better than others, and I just know how to manage pain. So as someone who lives in pain, do your research about sickle cell if you don't know. But I just want to tell you, if you're having knee pain, inflammation, you guys get this knee massager. It works. I remember telling my mom, I wish I knew what it was like to not feel any pain. And after I use this, I kind of know what that feels like to be normal, to live in a body that doesn't feel pain. Just even if it's for a little bit, I know what it feels like, and it's honestly because of this. And I know I bring you guys a lot of things on TikTok, but if I can tell y'all to get one thing as far as for pain management, I've used topicals. I'm currently on my heating pad right now. It would be this right here. So I'm going to show you guys how it works. I wanted to be authentic with you guys and tell you how it's worked in my life and how it's truly helped me, because I know a lot of times we see things and we're skeptical about it. As you can see, this is what I had on today because I couldn't take this with me. And that's to show you how much pain I was in throughout the day. So I'm just happy I'm home and I can relax and have this on. And it works, you guys. It works. So this is the knee massager with heat. It has the infrared lasers that you guys can see that's going to be directly over your knee. And then I'm going to show you the setting because it does have heat setting that you can control. The vibration setting, everything is that you can control. And I'm showing you that you can walk around with it so you can get things done in your house and not feel any type of way. So it goes from low, medium to high heat. Same with the vibration setting. 9 times out of 10, I would used to use my heating pad and put it over my knees, but now I don't have to. The only thing is that it only comes with one for each knee, so I just have to switch the knees like every 30 minutes. But I'm going to go back and get 2. My son wanted to use it after seeing me use it. And he's like, Mom, it feels good. It feels weird, but it feels good. And it does come with a bag so you can travel with it. So that is just a reminder for me next time to travel with it. So I have it linked below because it's amazing.
Here's a few herbal remedies for sickle cell disease, a condition that requires a holistic approach. Hydration is key. Ensure you're drinking plenty of water throughout the day to maintain blood flow. Optimize your diet with iron-rich foods like spinach and lentils, folic acid from leafy greens, and antioxidant-rich foods like berries. Consider herbal supplements. Nettle leaf for anemia, turmeric for its anti-inflammatory properties, and garlic and ginger to improve blood circulation. Don't forget omega-3 fatty acids found in fish oil and flaxseed oil. Try acupuncture for pain management and improved blood flow. Light exercise can boost circulation and overall health. However, avoid dehydration, high stress levels, extreme temperatures, infections, and smoking. Remember, it's essential to consult with a healthcare professional before starting any new treatment and have regular checkups. Combining herbal remedies with conventional treatments can help manage the condition effectively.
This is the prayer that healed me from illnesses here in the United States. If you're going through a tough time, just have faith and repeat these words with me from your heart. Heavenly Father, I come to you in faith, believing in your power to heal. Today, I surrender all my ailments, my body, and my soul into your hands. I declare that by the stripes of Jesus, I am healed. As your word says in Isaiah 53 verse 5, renew my strength, cleanse every cell in my body, and restore my health completely. I trust in your infinite love and your promise to never leave me alone. Thank you, Lord, for the healing you are already bringing into my life. Even if I don't see the solution immediately, I trust that you are working in my favor. Today, I walk in faith, knowing my victory is assured in your name. If you believe in this prayer, write in the comments, Lord, I trust in you. And share this message with someone who needs healing today. Together we can bring hope and strength to more hearts. Amen.
Here's a few herbal remedies for sickle cell disease, a condition that requires a holistic approach. Hydration is key. Ensure you're drinking plenty of water throughout the day to maintain blood flow. Optimize your diet with iron-rich foods like spinach and lentils, folic acid from leafy greens, and antioxidant-rich foods like berries. Consider herbal supplements. Nettle leaf for anemia, turmeric for its anti-inflammatory properties, and garlic and ginger to improve blood circulation. Don't forget omega-3 fatty acids found in fish oil and flaxseed oil. Try acupuncture for pain management and improved blood flow. Light exercise can boost circulation and overall health. However, avoid dehydration, high stress levels, extreme temperatures, infections, and smoking. Remember, it's essential to consult with a healthcare professional before starting any new treatment and have regular checkups. Combining herbal remedies with conventional treatments can help manage the condition effectively.